Three, two, one. What's going on, everyone? You're watching Ash on Comics. My name is Ash, and here is today's comic, Batman: Curse of the White Knight, Book 2. Joining me, as always, is Stan the Man. Good to see you, Stan. And Forky, resident intern, expert of all things trash, channel mascot, all-around happy guy. Puts a smile on her face. You gotta remember, this is comics, guys. There's so much anger in the industry right now. People are just pissed off, outraged, comics suck, everything's bad, blah. Everything's not trash, right? Forky realized this, you can too. Speaking of not trash, look what I got with me today. Oh, celebration of being a nerd. One of my favorite candies. Yes, I'm a big gummy bear guy. Gummy bears are my number one. But I'm also a big fan of nerds. And I saw these at 7-Eleven. And gigantic, like big chewy nerds. I'm a big chewy nerd. And this is a big chewy book that I cannot wait to read. This is one of my favorite books. White Knight, the original White Knight, is one of my favorite, is probably my favorite comic of the 21st century. It is astoundingly good. I love Sean Gordon Murphy's art. He is perfect for Batman in my, well, that's kind of, he's ideal for Batman for me. I love him. And he wrote a phenomenal story. I can't believe this guy's come out of nowhere. He's not really known for being a writer. And here he comes. So I didn't get to talk about the original White Knight because I didn't start my channel until after I had gotten into comics and after White Knight. And yeah, so this is my chance now to talk about this book, every issue. I can't wait. I'm going to sit here and enjoy my bag of nerds because real candy lovers like candy, not milky. There's no milky. Is there any soy in this? I honestly don't know. Let's see. This is good TV right now. You guys are just like, what are you doing? Nope, no soy. So I'm going to read this book, eat some candy, drink some drink, enjoy the company of my friends, and then we're going to get back and we're going to talk about it. All right, and we're back. See, that wasn't that long. I read the comic. I've eaten some nerds. Let me tell you, never had these before. These are really good. They're about the size of like an M&M. And what they are is on the, I don't know if you can, if you can see that well. They have like a coating, like a little crunchy coating that's like ground up nerds. And then on the inside, it's like a chewy candy, like kind of a little sweet, little sour, not terribly sour, but just enough to, really good. You should try these. I'm like super addicted. I can't stop eating these, but I have to so I can try to do this review without sitting here chewing into the mic. White Knight is fantastic. The first series blew me away. This series started off amazing. I did a review on the first issue. Or I don't like calling these reviews. I talked about the first issue. Let's talk about book 2 now. So we open up, and it's in London. Looks like about Victorian age London. Just tell me one thing before we send you away, thief. That house is a fortress. How did you get in without calling attention from the guard? And how do you know where the ring was hidden? I grew up in that house. That house was built by one of the greatest families in all of London, but everyone knows they died in the plague. So that either makes you a liar or a bastard. Clink, clink. So you're putting on cuffs. Or a ghost. Guard, you're coming as well to give testimony. Ominous W there. And then clickety clack, clack, clack. So the carriage is walking away. And you can just sort of hear, at least when I was reading it, I could hear the cobblestone. It just, Sean Gordon Murphy's art is so fantastic. And let me also, before I go any further, I'm going to say, this comic I paired with the Batman Begins soundtrack. Just the Begins, not Dark Knight or Dark Knight Rises. It's got a fantastic score. Regardless of what you think about the movie, the score on that film is great, and it works really well with this particular book. So I recommend it. If you're reading White Knight, you can get a hold of that soundtrack, play it. I think it'll really enhance your the reading and the drama of it all. So here we go. I love this. Every issue gets this 2-page splash. Unlike Marvel Comics, which gives you a 2-page splash and some little credits, we get the credits up here, but it's a big art piece. And yeah, if you're going to do that, if you want to give the credits, do some art. Look at that. Murphy doesn't hold back. He could have just had this big graphics piece, the logo, and DC, and blah, blah, and what. No, it's nice art, and I love seeing Azrael. Azrael looks so badass, drawn by Murphy. Then we proceed inside the carriage. Are you a ghost, Edmund Wayne? Or are you an outcast, the last of a noble bloodline who tried to flee his destiny? I never told you my first name. Tell me, do you believe that God has a plan for each of us? I don't believe in God. Well, I do. And I don't believe this was his path for you. I think that you're meant for something greater. You're not a guard. No, I'm a messenger, a priest. And I offer you a choice, but you must decide quickly. And the carriage is still rolling on. You can accept your current fate, rotting inside of the hell of Newgate, here in London, or you can accept that God has other plans for you by coming with me. Fine, I accept God, whatever gets me out of prison. Good. Excuse me, I have little sniffles. He's undoing the chains here, you can see. What are you going to do? God's will. You're like, what? And then all of a sudden the sword comes out from the carriage into the driver. Oh, good Lord! And he pops out and he's just shooting people, shoots them in the head. Edmund, get the reins. There are more heading towards us. Steer into them. What? Have no fear, Lord Wayne. And he's like throwing shuriken. And you're just like, good Lord, who is this guy? Thunk, thunk, thunk. And then they ride in and he just lops off this guy's head. Such a great scene. Christ, what kind of priest are you? My name is Bakar, and I'll ask that you never again take the Lord's name in vain. Where are we going? A place called Gotham Valley, in the New World, where your inheritance awaits. 6 men dead. Well, they didn't die by my hand, they died for my freedom, and the guilt weighs heavily on my soul. For I have never taken a life, nor do I ever intend to. And then we get this cool motif, and as I'm reading it, I feel like I'm watching a movie. Sean Murphy's visuals are so spot on, and I think part of this is, due to his talent as an artist, but oftentimes really good writers who are also artists are able to transcend this connection between artist and writer because they are the one and the same. Frank Miller did this fantastic. Who else? Walt Simonson. Some of the really greats, John Byrne, they don't have to communicate to the writer and hope the writer, as a writer, they don't have to communicate to the artist and hope the artist understands what their vision. It's just, and this flows so well. And immediately I'm just, imagining the high seas and some, not pirate music, but, we've all seen movies of this era and the New World, and just I can hear the ship creaking and the sounds, and it just works. And then there's this letter that I'm not going to read to you, but the letter is the narration, and it's really cool that it's done like this. It's almost like if you're reading from a journal. And then when you see the ship, you get to the ship pulling into the harbor of Gotham Valley. Gotham Valley is all my family has left, so this is where we make our stand. And then it cuts to Bruce Wayne in modern times, and you can see there's a piece of the journal, it's all preserved. However, Bakar's help comes at a heavy price, half of Gotham. This might not be something I'm willing to grant. Someone here to see you, Mr. Wayne. She doesn't have an appointment. It's important, Mr. Wayne. I'm here about your bat problem. Let her in. And so this woman is named Ruth. And I'm not sure who she is. She's a powerful woman. She might be the mayor of Gotham. I can't recall. I went back to last issue and reread and was like, what am I forgetting? And Joe confronts her. But that's it. I'm missing somewhere. I know it's said somewhere. So if you are in the comments and you remember and you want to refresh this idiot's memory, please do so. Because, I don't know, she's just a powerful woman, possibly the mayor. I guess that's all I can go with right now. So she starts making some demands to Bruce. And it's like, what can I do for you, miss? So she's probably not the mayor, because Bruce would have said, miss, Madam Mayor or whatever. You and the police can lay off my clients, Mr. Wayne. Our mutual friend, the Joker, told me everything. There must be some misunderstanding. This will go a lot quicker if you stop playing stupid and just accept the fact that right now I know more about Bruce Wayne than you do. Who are you? My name is Ruth, and I created the Batman Devastation Fund. I'm also the financial handler for some of the blah blah. Okay, so if you remember from the last Batman series on this, the whole Batman Devastation Fund was this whole thing that Joker, aka Jack Napier, used to kind of frame Batman, and it's a big deal here. And then you come to find out, I don't want to spoil anything for you if you haven't read it, so I'm not gonna. But there's kind of a little bit of twist to the whole story, and so she's a powerful elite. She talks about secrecy is a top priority in my line of work. You'll never find out who my clients are. In fact, some of them don't even know they're clients. Besides, we're not doing anything illegal. You're trying to blackmail me. No, I'm just here to tell you the facts. So she goes on, lays it all on the line, and this is sort of the hook, right? This is part of Act 1, the setup. The last issue, we got John Paul Valley's rolling all of this, and now we're getting Bruce Wayne's. And she's like, it's really very simple. If you really want what's best for Gotham, then you'll continue being Batman and fighting crime, low-level crime. And you'll find a way to help the elites by stopping the Napier Initiative. I don't care what it takes to expose you. You should, because you won't survive this, and neither will Dick or Barbara. Or anyone else that you roped in your cause, which cuts over to Gordon. And so he's making a speech. He's running for mayor. And you can see it's all broadcast live. And all of a sudden, weird things cut in the background on the TV cast. And it's like, wahaha, and the Joker shows up. And he's confronting him. There's this great bit here. I love this panel sequence where he puts on the glasses and he look, and it's just the Joker Gordon just looks hilarious. My name's Jim Gordon, and I'm running for mayor. Not only am I an incompetent policeman who allowed Batman to run the city, I'm also a cheating husband and a terrible father. I'm too stupid to even notice that my daughter... And Gordon swaps aside the barrel of the gun and tackles him. Meanwhile, this feed's going on. It's actually Batgirl. How was that? Too on the nose? Joker was right. And so she's now talking to John Paul Valley, and she's basically like, well, Bruce Wayne's not on board, so that falls to you. And now she's making her plans there. And it all comes down to setting these two up against each other. And Batman shows up with Gordon, who's yelling at his daughter. Is like, I can't believe all these years you didn't trust me enough to tell me you were, and she's like, I did it to protect you, and da-da-da. And he's just like, Joker was right. I spent years working alongside my own daughter, but I never noticed because of a silly leather mask. You're a hell of a detective, Jim. And he turns around, and you! All your talk of trust and turning over a new leaf. You'd said you reveal yourself to Gotham. When exactly were you planning on doing that? So earlier, Ruth, when she was confronting Batman, I didn't read it, but she tells Batman, if you give up, if you reveal who you are to the world, you will destroy Gotham. Like the FBI will come and arrest you. They'll seize all your assets. Wayne Enterprises will crumble, which will destroy the economy of Gotham. Thousands of people will lose their jobs, blah, blah, blah. Then, of course, all the super criminals will come for their revenge, and da-da-da. And it's like, She outlays this total disaster. He'll be arrested for terrorism, and every single villain that he's ever got arrested probably will be able to sue for assault and all this. You're like, oh yeah, why? I didn't even think of that. Why didn't Batman think of this? Why is Gordon not thinking? Batman can't reveal himself. So he responds to Gordon, "You told me not to. Said it would only complicate things. Well, I was wrong. You should have come out, Wayne. Then maybe Joker and the elites wouldn't have destroyed my little girl's life." And Barbara's sitting there in tears, crying. Now we get back to Harley, or one of the Harleys. "You keep forgetting. I'm the only one in Gotham you can't sneak up on." And so the dogs are barking, and he's talking about Joker's in custody, yada, yada, yada. And he needs her help to interrogate him. And she says, I can't go down this road again. My heart can't take it. Besides, I have other things to worry about." "You're pregnant?" "World's greatest detective." I like that circular, it's kind of a poetic writing style to come full circle like that. And you're just like, oh, this is interesting. This is probably Joker's baby. Joker has a baby? A little conspicuous, JP. That's John Paul. "The red really stands out." "It doesn't matter. God will protect us." And you're just like, oh shit. There he is in all his glory. And he's got these two allies. One is like a demolitions expert. One is an expert sniper. And obviously with Ruth's help, they have all the funds they need to do what they're doing. They got this super vehicle. And we cut back to Batman, who gets one of his computers hacked or whatever. And John Paul sends a message. "In the beginning, Gotham had 2 sons. The brothers were to divide the land and live in peace. But then one son rose against the other, like Cain and Abel. God cursed Cain for what he had done, just as he cursed you, just as he cursed all of Gotham. I am vengeance. I am God's wrath, here to break the curse, to rise up against you and deliver this land from evil. After 3 centuries, the House of Wayne will finally be rectified." You're just like, oh, okay. "Just as I suspected, everything in the cave is completely networked. Just say the word." It's got this old computer geezer guy. "Bury him." So Batman, of course, being Batman, you can't. He's up. He's like, okay, this is time to fucking bail. And he's bagging his shit. And then you see the car, target hostile, and the car just automates and starts attacking on Batman. The Batmobile, that is. But Batman's, always prepared. Then the Batwing, engage afterburner, and the thing just from the ceiling coming down at him. Batman's having to basically fight his own Batcave. But like a boss, as the car comes at him, he leaps, grabs a hold, rips out whatever particular communication cables that cause it to be networked, so in the hacking, so he can get control of again. And then they realize, okay, Batman's got control, but they just they talk about blow the charges. So boom, boom, just all the caves. Look at this, the dinosaur, and Batman's just flying out, breakneck speed. The cars, he's just coming around the corner. It's one wheel lifted up. And I love how Murphy knows cars. And you can look at that picture of Batman behind the wheel. It's just so badass. And he, boom, coming out into probably looks like the Gotham Reservoir, I'm assuming. And then, boom, there's Wayne Manor. And then the road coming down, the vehicle driving away. And then darkness. Next issue. So, that's it. Kind of a short and sweet. There's the alternate cover. And there's the graphic novel trade paperback. Oh, sorry. Got a phone call in the middle of the review. Something always happens. I mean, the professionalism of my reviews. I keep calling them reviews even though I don't want to. Anyways, Batman Curse of the White Knight. This is a phenomenal book. It's excellent. It is a little bit written for the trade in the sense that you're not getting that serialized epic issue, but each one still is so well done you don't care. You don't care. And having binged the original White Knight, you're going to love having this story like this. You're going to want to buy this. You're going to want to get the trade when it comes out later, to have a reading copy, to hand to friends and say, hey, read this, because you want it to first to be the companion to your first one. This is so good. Sean Gordon Murphy's art is astounding. He's the most exciting creator in comics for me, going back to Frank Miller when he was changing the world of comicdom. Sean Gordon Murphy, I don't know if I want to say he's like that level of writer yet, but damn, that first book was that good, and this is solid too. And if he could write something that's not Batman and wow me on that same level after this, we might be able to start putting him in that talking point. I highly, highly recommend this book. This is another 5-star issue. It's just perfect almost on every level. Does it have the massive bang that, like House of X #4, which is this week's hot comic that everyone's talking about, including me? No. But you don't need that. That's not, every story doesn't need that. What it has is every word bubble, every narration block, every part of it just feels finely polished and tuned and thought out. Every illustration is money. You want to just look at all the details. You savor this book. If you like Batman at all, you're like, I kind of like Batman, this is a book you get. This is one of the top Batman books you might ever read. And while this is not the Azrael from the continuity, Sean Murphy takes generous liberties. He kind of does the Christopher Nolan. He's like, takes characters they're familiar with, you kind of know what this character's like, but does his own version. Because it's so good, you don't care. And in fact, in the case of the original White Knight, he improved many of the characters. Harley Quinn was made better. Duke Thomas, way better. I hate the Duke Thomas in continuity, but Sean Murphy's Duke Thomas, fantastic. Anyways, read this book. It's my highest rating. This is going to be 5 stars. One of my favorite things that I look forward to week after week to read. I know this came in late to review. I don't want to throw out hot books and encourage people to Wednesday I'll tune into Ash and see, have him go read the book to me and I don't have to buy anything. While I do want to save you money, that's great. I want you to not I want you to not skip this book. So this is Stan. This is Forky. I'm Ash. These are nerds. These are fantastic candies. Hashtag Gummygate. I can't even say it right. Hashtag Candygate. And if you're wondering why the hell you keep showing candy on your channel, it's stupid. It's an inside thing between me and some of the other YouTubers and some regular viewers of the channel and their channels. And Bats kind of started it. Eric Breen. A few of it. It's kind of a spoof on a Comicsgate, and we can joke around. It's not a real. No one's really mad about anything, but it's the gummies versus the milkies, and candy like this falls on the gummy side, of course, because it's better. And I'm telling you, these are good. So good, Eric Breen won't like them. Take it from me. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.